In case there's any stipulation, I would just like to say that yes, I am in my 20s. For anyone who wants to comment that I look younger than 20 or older than 30, please don't. That's really harmful to my mental health. I am in my 20s. I'm 24 exactly. So please don't say I'm 30 because that's a blow. And if you say I'm younger than 20, that's still a blow. So let's just get right into it. Hello guys, welcome back to Sandra's Shelf. I hope you are enjoying this new setup. It is tentative or permanent, depending on the response I get towards it. So today I was going for like a business casual look, you know, just for the contents of this video, just to inspire you, just to, you know, you have to look the part and feel the part to be the part. Not really, but let's just go with it. So today's topic is really important. We're going to talk about the 15 good money habits you need to develop in your 20s. You need to develop these habits if you want to grow wealth as you grow. I definitely have a different approach to wealth and being rich and making money now at 24 than I did at 20. I remember when I was 20, it was just also confusing. What is expenses? What is bills? What is student loans? What is loans? What is the bank? You know, I just didn't know anything. I certainly did not know anything about investment or investing, which I have learned a lot in the past year and a half, and I've also started investing. All of this to say that it's very normal to be anxious and confused and worried about money. I mean, do I think that we should live that way? No. The only way to combat those feelings of anxiety around money is to actually gain more knowledge about money. It's actually to the means of financial literacy, in which you understand your finances and you're able to make good and rewarding decisions around your money. I'd like to make a quick note before we jump into these habits. For many of us, money will be one of the biggest contributing aspects to our health and our happiness. I know it's not correct and it's not right to say that money buys happiness, because that's not true, but it's the way you react around money and the way you use money and the way you see money in your life that actually does contribute to your overall happiness and your overall health. So I do believe that it's good to know about money now in your 20s, whereas later in your life, because you know what? Time is money. If you invest the time and knowledge now to actually learn about money, you will save yourself from a lot of monetary problems as you grow older. So here are the 15 good money habits you need to develop in your 20s. So the first habit is a very obvious habit. It's to have a budget. Of course, you've probably heard this tip so many times and it's overused, but the reason why it always ends up in these type of videos is that having a budget actually works. It's actually an effective tool to help you build the right mindset around money. It's one of the only tools that will help you keep accountable and that will help you track your money and your expenses every single month. When you budget every month, you can see where your money is going and you can help yourself understand how and what you can do different in the next months. And in that way, you can actually plan for your future. You can actually make better decisions for the future, and you can actually have more money coming in the future. All you need is a budget. If you want a budget, I have a budget available for free download on my website. Just click on the first link down below. You will be able to actually download it and start budgeting right away. So that's really good. The second good habit is to have an emergency fund. An emergency fund covers up to 3 to 6 months of expenses. So it covers up to 3 to 6 months of living expenses just in case something happens in your life. Obviously, we've seen in the last year, the pandemic, how it has affected people and the way they see and save their money, because the unexpected can happen at any time. There are so many things happening around the world. You will never know when you come to that situation. I don't wish it or hope it for anyone, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. Because if you have those 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved into an emergency fund, then when it comes down to it, you won't be going out and taking out loans and you won't be collecting interest on your credit cards. So I highly recommend you start saving for an emergency fund, you know, start building it up. And you know, you don't have to put all the money into it right away. You can just, you know, with your budget, plan into like putting some money for your emergency fund every day. But I would definitely do that first. Money habit number 3 is have savings for short-term and long-term purchases. You want to maybe put your money in a high-yielding savings account in order to be able to build that money for the long-term investments. Long-term investments, I mean, such as marriage or moving out to another country or even buying a house. But I also think you should save up for short-term purchases because the point of having money is to actually spend the money to a certain degree. Don't just want to lead a life where you're always postponing things because you want to save money. But you should also save for short-term purchases because obviously you want to live your life, you want to go on a vacation, you want to get a new car, you want to get something new. So obviously do save for short-term purchases as well. The fourth good money habit is to optimize your credit cards. You should take advantage of optimizing your credit cards because that's money you can get back for free. Most credit cards offer rewards and I would greatly recommend using them because you can get cash back on groceries, you can get cash back in stores, and you can also even get rewards for, travel points. I know a lot of people that actually go on vacation and only use their credit card rewards to pay for that vacation. So that's such a smart way to go about things in my opinion. Since we're talking about credit cards, here's good money habit number 5, just to build a great credit score. The earlier you start building your credit score, the better it will be for you. Building a great credit score will ensure that you can get loans. For example, when you want to start a business, it will ensure that you can get other credit cards, as well as help you get the approval on a mortgage for your first house. Here are some ways you can build a good credit score. Use your credit card regularly instead of using your debit card. Pay off the full balance every month. Don't miss a payment and don't collect any interest. Always at least pay the monthly minimum. Don't shop over your credit limit. And if you need, you might be able to increase your credit limit anyway. Good money habit number 6 is to be aware of your subscriptions. All the subscriptions and memberships you have will actually really add up in the end. Right now, you might not see it, but if you were to take all the numbers and tally them up, for example, by using a budget, then if you multiply those numbers and you see on the long run, you can see that you actually are spending thousands of dollars on subscriptions and memberships. So I'm not saying that you should cut all of your subscriptions and all of your memberships. Obviously, that's a personal choice. That's a financial choice you can take on your own, but I just want to make you cautious of it. You need to think to yourself, do I actually use this service enough for the money that I'm putting in? Do I actually go to the gym enough times for me to spend my money on gas, go there, spend my money on gas, come back and spend my money on the membership? Like, I know some people that don't go to the gym and they have a monthly membership every month and they go like a total of 1-2 months. In that case, it might be even better for you to just like start taking walks around your house or literally buy some dumbbells in your house or buy some equipment. That's a one-time fee. You just keep on using it because it's at home. That's what I personally do for myself. I have built a home gym instead of going and spending my money and my time going towards a gym. And it's a personal decision. I know a lot of people don't like that. I know a lot of people, they like the comfort, physical aspect of leaving the house and going to the gym. And that's totally up to you. That's totally fine. But you need to like take into consideration, are you also paying for gym, Netflix, Hulu, all those other providers in the membership? Are you paying for other things like monthly subscriptions to newspapers? Like, what are you paying for? And think to yourself, really, are you actually using all of those memberships at once? Just really think to yourself, focus and tally it up. Another thing you can do in these cases, if you're like, say, paying for a membership and they have a shared plan, that's also a great alternative because you can share the price with many people and then you guys are getting more out of it. That's the same principle if you're thinking about like a phone bill, because that's what we do in my household. We share the phone bills and it's much cheaper that way. And I know for a fact that phones are something I can't go without. I need a phone line basically, right? That's the same thing with your personal subscriptions and memberships. You should really evaluate and think which ones are serving you and which ones are putting a dent in your wallet. So good money habit number 7 is to automate. Automation is really powerful and it's actually really helpful. When you automate your bill payments and your expenses every month, then you won't risk a chance of missing a deadline. In that way, automation doesn't only save you time with your payments, but it also saves you money because you won't collect interest or miss payments and have to like fight and work harder to make up whatever you missed. You can also use automation for the aspects that you want in your personal budget, where you say, I want to spend this much amount of money a month for this and this and that, and then you can use automation to, example, set up that money. So you can use automation to like pay yourself first if you're the type of person that wants to invest some money from the money you make monthly, and that's another thing that you can do, and that's another thing that keeps you accountable and that actually grows your bank. Good money habit number 8 is to open a RRSP or a TFSA or any of its equivalents, say in the United States or any other countries around the world. You know, like you can use a Questrade, Wealthsimple, whatever it is. Any accounts in which you can, you know, invest money and put your money and watch it grow. These accounts are the ones that will actually help you to achieve financial freedom. If you have your money sitting in a typical savings account, you're actually losing money. You're actually losing the value of money. The money that sits there is actually impacted by inflation. Whereas if you put your money in a TFSA and you put it smartly for like a long-term investing, then you will see your money grow instead. At the beginning of 2021, I took off money out of my savings account and I put it into a TFSA, tax-free savings account, and therefore I've been seeing my money grow every month steadily since then. And I do believe that everyone, like before they even hit like their 20s, should do that, should start and open a TFSA. But obviously I'm not a financial advisor, it's just my personal recommendation, and it's a tip that I've seen going on a lot everywhere. Although a lot of people in the business niche and, you know, the money niche knows this and says this, not a lot of people that I've seen in real life actually take this into consideration, and I think that they really should. And it's things that we don't really see in school, but it's like life lessons that we should learn, everyone. And the younger they learn it, the better. I talked about the TFSA, but the RRSP, which is the Registered Retirement Savings Plan that we have here in Canada, is also very beneficial, because with the RRSP, you will have a much lower tax bracket by the time you retire. It's definitely worth contributing to as well. Money habit number 9 is to learn how to invest. Now, investing can seem daunting, and if you're a first-time investor, you might just be super confused, because now you're listening about all kinds of news about cryptocurrency, stocks and funds, and you're all over the place. Start small, and then as you go, learn more, and then diversify your portfolio, because the more you diversify your portfolio, the lower risk that you run from losing your money. Also, the more money you have in there, the more risk you have. Start easy with a low amount at first. It's not that much money, so you know you can afford to make some mistakes, and then as you go and as you grow, then you have more knowledge and you won't make as many mistakes anyways. And so that's my number 1 recommendation. The advice that's always given to first-time investors is that the worst thing you can do to yourself is to be outside of the market right now. Also, please, I don't think anyone will be doing this after watching this video, but don't go and like put all of your savings into the investment. Unless all of your saving only encompasses $1,000 like me, then yeah. But don't put all, as in like don't go and put $20,000 into your TFSA the next day, because first of all, you need to be into your contribution limit. If you don't know what that is, please Google it. I will make a separate video on how to start investing, but just be smart about it, you know, start slow and then collect the knowledge. So some of my favorite investing books include Unshakable by Tony Robbins, as well as The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, and The Little Book of Common Sense Investing by John Bogle. These 3 are 3 well-known, greatly appreciated investors. The reason why they're so great and that the advice that they produce is really great is because it's none of those like get rich quick gimmicks. It's really for like long-term investing. It's for understanding what the stock market really is and how you can make good rational decisions, and how you can combat the emotional turmoil that we have inside all of us when it comes to saving, investing, and losing money. Good money habit number 10 is obviously to save for your retirement. So maybe you've taken all the right steps, maybe you've opened all the right accounts, but I'm sure that most of us are not saving as much as we should for retirement, and we should, because I'll tell you why. We're living in an actual crisis. I'm not going to go into deep depths of crisis, but right now, as I see the situation unfold, we are having more and more people working to a more and more advanced age. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be working after a certain age, because obviously We're human beings, will work either way. Either we work for someone else, or we work for ourselves, or we work doing something we love. It all depends on you and what you choose in life. But when it comes to a point that all you do in life is only work, and then by the time that you're old and you can't really handle working, you have no choice but to work because you can't retire, or the retirement money that you have coming in is so feeble, is so low that you actually are still pushed to go and work at least part-time, or just go and work somewhere. Like I said, a lot of people can't even afford retiring at 65. And that's really a tragic reality. With the trends that we see right now, we're going to see that the retirement age is going to keep on growing. So first it's going to be 65, then 66, then 67, then 68. So I really advise anyone watching this to please be careful. Please start saving for your retirement, because life goes by so quickly and things happen in life so quickly. And if you don't take the moment now to slow down and actually evaluate what you're doing with your money, what you're doing with your time, then you will encounter probably many of these monetary problems in the future. And you don't want that. I don't want that. And I'm sure that the people that love you in your life do not want that. So please be cautious. Please save for your retirement as well. So tip number 11 is to get as financially literate as you can. And so we've seen that with the investment books, but you know, there's much more to business books than investment books. You have books on saving, budgeting, you have books on accounting, you have books on so many things that you can be doing with your money and with your life and with your time. And I highly recommend that. You can always go and visit my blog. I have so many resources and so many different types of books. I have books for entrepreneurs. I have books for saving money and investing. You can always read those, and you can also watch my earlier video that I made, which is the top 2 personal finance books that I recommend for beginners, because that's a really good starting point as well. So the reason why this is so important is that the more you learn about finances and your personal finances and how to manage your money and your time and your life, the less you will feel stuck, the less you will encounter situations where you're stuck, and the less you will feel that you're being controlled by your money, you're being enslaved by your money, and the less that you will feel anxious surrounding concepts of money. Financial literacy actually helps you to regain power over your life and over your money. A good money habit number 12 is to pay off debt. Debt has a nasty way of following you and collecting as you go about your life. It's like a shadowy presence that's always there, taunting you, haunting you, and oppressing you. And the quicker you get rid of it, the more you'll see money actually working and actually growing, and the more you will feel more relief because you don't have something that's growing in the negatives. Instead, you'll be able to focus on growing in the positives. Furthermore, debts will actually prevent you from reaching bigger financial goals. They will hold you back from enjoying and living your life. When you actually pay off your debts, you become eligible for lower rates on your loans and on your mortgages. It's very similar in that matter with having great credit score, because racking up debts can also compound for the negative and actually destroy all your credit. And that's the main reason why I took the initiative to pay off my student loan debts, and I made sure that I paid it off in full before it even started collecting any interest. If you want to learn more about my process, you can always watch the video that I made before about how I paid my student loan debts quicker, because exactly that, I was so afraid of what will happen if I didn't pay it off, and that's why I worked my ass off to make sure that by the time I graduated university, I'd have like a good conscience, healthy mindset, and you know, I won't have something that is due all the time. I acknowledge that everyone's debt situation is different. Please don't feel ashamed. Please, you can work through it. You can do it. A lot of people have debts. Like, we are literally designed in this life to collect debts, which is terrible, but we have the power to actually combat these debts and pay them off and live as intentionally and as freely as we possibly can, or at least as we possibly hope to. Good money habit number 13 is to shop smart. In order to shop smart, you need to be aware of your shopping habits. Are you a shopaholic? Are you constantly shopping online? Are you constantly shopping in store? Are you constantly shopping in both? How much do you spend monthly on shopping? And how much do you spend on shopping for luxuries? And how much you spend on shopping for necessities? Once you know the answers to these questions, you can make the appropriate decision and changes around your shopping habits. There are many ways to shop smart. You can shop during the deals and promotions for the things that you actually need. You can also wait for the end of season where they have big sales as well. Sometimes with shopping, you need to be patient because newer items are gonna be sold at the biggest price point that they can be sold. After a certain time, the price will be reduced. I can give you an example. It's not only with clothes, but they do that with books too. There's a whole psychology behind it. So a new release book is gonna be anywhere between $30 to $45. It's gonna be most likely a hardback. But if you wait a year, you get the paperback, it's $20, and then you wait another year, and that paperback becomes $10. So it's the same concept when you're shopping for clothes or for any other items. The newer it is, the more pricier it is. So sometimes you need to be patient. You need to wait for, like, say, the next holiday sale. You need to wait a few months when there's something new that comes out, and then you'll be able to shop at a reasonable price. If you don't believe me, just look at the iPhone prices. That's the same thing. When the iPhone just comes out, a new one, it's like a ridiculous amount of price, and then the one that you had just bought the other time, you also spent a ridiculous amount of money on, and that old iPhone now is actually like $400 off. So it's just how marketing works. Also, if you're a type of person that shops a lot online, I shop online a lot, you can also use Rakuten. Rakuten gives you anywhere between 2 to 10% cash back on your purchases online if you use, their app or their extension. And so that's a great way to make money back. And as I said earlier before, you can also use cash back on your credit card so you can make some money back as well. So those are also good ways of shopping smart. If you want to know more about Rakuten, I highly recommend it. It's free. You can use my link down below and you will get anywhere between $25 and $30 for free just by signing up. And once you first make a purchase, you will get that money in your account. And that's a really good way of making cash back. Good money habit number 14 is to beware of fraud. So fraud is happening all the time around us, especially now more than ever with, the online access and the digital access. So a lot of people want to fraud your card, your identity, anything that you have to offer. They will try to fraud it and they will try to make money off of it. So you need to be very careful. Make sure that all of your passwords are set to like the strongest password setting you ever can have. Make sure that you're always keeping an eye on all your transactions, because sometimes frauds are so tricky. They'll make like a small transaction and you won't even notice it. That's why you have to always have your eyes on your purchases. Always better to be safe than sorry. I've been frauded before. Thankfully, I wasn't accounted for any of the fraud, but bank called me right away. They're like, listen, I don't think this is you buying $1,000 plus of jewelry. I'm like, nope, that's not me. If I ever spend $1,000 in my existence, it would be in one go. It would be on books, and even that is too much for me as a person that I am. I was glad that the bank caught it. I went to the bank right away. We switched all my cards and I wasn't held accountable. But that's what I'm saying. Even me, I watch my bank account every single day, and I was very confused because they caught it right before I caught it. So like I said, please be mindful, keep an eye out, and don't share your passwords or identity anywhere. The 15th and final good money habit is a little weird one because it might not seem related to money, but it is. So the 15th habit is to be surrounded by like-minded people. The reason why I say this is because if you have a certain lifestyle, it will be harder to maintain if you're surrounded by people that have a different lifestyle from you. I'm not saying that you can't be friends or acquainted with these type of people, but it will be harder to save your money and to lead the life that you want when other people around you lead a completely different life. It's like you would not imagine me going out to dinner with, say, like a Kardashian, because obviously whatever they're gonna eat or whatever they're gonna order is gonna be the amount of money that I've made since birth, even more. That's just a little bit of common sense, but sometimes you might not even see it. Maybe you have friends that are more into partying and spending money on going out, but you value more like spending money on traveling. So then that's where you're gonna have to like, either you're gonna have to like cancel on them a few times, be like, listen, I want to come out, but I'll come out like on a big event and I will sit this one out because I need to save money. And if they're good friends, they will understand that, or they will accommodate. They will maybe like say, oh, you know what, let's do something, a gathering at home. If not, then you need to find people that are like-minded to you, maybe people that want to spend more money on vacationing instead, and vice versa. You have people that are the opposite. You have people that don't like to spend money on vacation and travel, but they like to spend money shopping, and so they want a shopping friend. Like-minded people tend to stick together, and then if they're not like-minded, you will feel that very shortly. Unless you guys can come to an agreement of spending time without spending money, then you know, it's just what it is. And this tip also applies to relationships. Oh my god, does it apply to relationships? Because as we all know, that a lot of marriages fail because of money issues and money problems. And I think deep rooted in the money issues and the money problems is a communication problem. So one person wants to spend their money this way and the other one wants to spend their money this way, and they're communicating but they're not listening to each other, and therefore they're surprised when, you know, things go down and someone is reproaching another person, and you know, it's all a debacle. So it's very, very important to have people that have similar goals, you know, not only with money but with other things in life, because obviously that will help you in your goals in life. And if not, it will cause points of contention, and money is a big, big, big point of contention, because money is literally a big, big factor in our lives and the way we lead our lives and the choices that we take. Like I said, it's very, very good to have money boundaries with your friends and your loved ones, just so they can understand where you're coming from and where you can understand where they're coming from, and, you know, come to an agreement. Because later on, say you're married and you go through a divorce and bankruptcy and lawyers, that's a lot of money. That is like your quickest, surest way to get into debt, you know, depending on your situation. So it's better to discuss it now. It's better to be surrounded right now by like-minded people than wake up in 10-20 years and realize that you have no money and you have no freedom and you just feel stuck and anxious all the time. I'm sorry that ended in such a negative note. That's not my intention. My intention is to warn you, and it's to tell you the things that I've seen, and these are all based on my personal experiences. Like I said, I'm not going to recommend any of these tips if I don't embody them myself, and so I do. So these are the 15 good money habits that I've started developing in my 20s, some more later than others, and I hope to keep on developing them. I hope to keep on being financially literate, and I hope to keep on learning. So if you have any good money habits you want to share, you don't have to be in your 20s, you can be younger or older. Please, every comment is welcome. Please let me know, what are some of your good money habits? Which one did you develop in your 20s or later? If you like this video, please feel free to leave a like and to leave comments down below. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Don't hesitate to look at any of the links down below. In my blog post down below, you can also download your free budget tracker. It's all free. You can just download it and you have it, and you can start budgeting right away if you feel inspired after this video. I hope so. And for now, I will see you on the next shelf.